Welcome to the Unlock Your Game podcast presented by Shoot 360 Louisville, where we cover all things Shoot 360. Coach Blake, we have a great episode coming out for our athletes and our members and the parents today. A lot of people love, I'm pretty sure everybody loves Coach Daisja here. They're going to get to kind of hear her story and what her perspective is on training and kind of things that they can take with them. And we can't wait to share that with them today.
Yeah, her energy in the gym is definitely one of one. She's been all around the world playing basketball, junior college, Division I. So it was great to hear a little bit about her background and where she's at today.
Absolutely, and we can't wait to get started. Coach Blake, we're welcoming Coach Daisja today to the podcast. We have been talking about this for a while, getting in one of our female trainers in here, and we were just super excited for the opportunity and ready to have her in.
Oh yeah, she's training a bunch of our athletes throughout the gym. It's great to finally have her on. Daisja, how are we doing today?
We're doing good. I'm trying to get my phone to stay up. I'm doing good though. Thanks for asking. How y'all doing today?
We're great.
Good. And just to let the people know real quick about Coach Daisja before we get into it, I'll let, I know she'll give a better introduction than we will, but just so some people know, this is our first player that we've had on here. Just shy of 1,750 points in college, collegiate All-American, played at 3 different schools, and was able to impact each school in a very different way. And we just are super excited to have you on here today, and can't wait to hear more about your story. And getting into this, just kind of let us know a little bit about your basketball background and kind of where that started for you.
So it started high school. I'm a Louisville native. I was at Seneca High School. I got I'm the all-time leading scorer there, 1,000-point scorer. And then it went on. I went JUCO. I went the JUCO route coming out of high school. So I went to Red Lake College in Illinois. And then I was there for 3 years. I decided to take my COVID year there because you essentially would only get 2 years JUCO, but I did 3 there. There I was all-time leading scorer, 1,000-point scorer, All-American, 2-time All-American. I was the leading scorer my last 2 seasons there in the nation. So all of the JUCO, NJCCA. And then, so from there, I committed to University of Cincinnati. And I did my senior year there. And then I graduated, got my bachelor's degree from there. And then I did my 5th year at the University of Illinois, Chicago. So that's kind of like my journey through from high school on to college. And then I went overseas and played in Africa after I had finished up college. And then when I came back, and I've been here. So until I take that next contract to go back overseas.
Yeah, it's been great having you around the facility. And just talking about your start in basketball, when do you think you knew that you wanted to play college basketball, potentially professional? And what did that whole background look like for you?
I knew early. I knew when I was a little girl. So my mom played, at the University of Kentucky. She played here at Manual in high school, and she's in the Hall of Fame there. She has a jersey retired there. So like my mom is kind of what essentially started it. So as soon as we started walking, I have my 3 brothers. So as soon as we all started walking, we kind of had a ball in our hand. And it wasn't like forced onto us. It was just like, whatever you pick up, and that's what you're going to decide to do. And it was just like, once you start it, you have to finish it. So luckily for all of us, we all ended up playing basketball. And that's kind of where it started. And it never got put down. Even for me, when I was in high school, because my mom was actually my head coach. She was my head coach in high school for 4 years. That was an experience. Okay?
I bet that was fun.
Yeah, that was a time. A time was had. But I actually started playing volleyball, and I didn't play basketball AAU my junior and senior year of high school. And then because I wanted to play volleyball, I played club volleyball, and I was like, I'm going to play volleyball. I've been playing basketball my whole life, I'm talking rec leagues when we were younger, before I was old enough to even be on a organized team to then school. I've been on every school ball team. But my junior senior year, I'm like, I'm not gonna play. I'm just gonna stick with volleyball. And I had a turn of events very quickly. I was like, no, I missed it. So I just stuck with it. So like I said, probably about 2 or 3 when I started walking. You get the first steps and then like you kind of get a ball and I'm walking to get to the rim. She's excited that I'm walking, but I'm trying to put the ball in the basket.
Coming to Little Hoopers. That's what
I,
that's what you should have been
so you didn't have a Coach Will.
Yeah, but no, just kind of during that basketball journey, and we talked about the different stops, whether it's from your rec league days to high school, and kind of figuring out, okay, am I really going to stick to this, or you're talking about college. I mean, 3 different schools in at what 5-6 years. I mean, that's that's a lot of change, and there's got to be a lot of perseverance through that. And then you're talking about going overseas to Africa. I mean, and we've talked about your time over there and how it was, and a lot of positive things and a lot of things that you really had to work through. But just kind of what kept you grounded, or what kind of kept you going and motivated through those times?
Well, if we're gonna go in regards to like what I relied on and like my motivation, it was always God. That was my first, my fair friend with everything. And of course, the older I got, the better my relationship got. But it was just trusting the purpose that He has over my life and fulfilling that purpose. Like truthfully, and not in regards to what I may want. Because like even when I told y'all in high school, for me, I wanted to play volleyball, right? I wanted to play volleyball, but I ended up, I was destined to play basketball. I'm not saying I couldn't have did both, but understanding like just tying that into what you may want to do and what your purpose may be. Motivation though, that would probably just be fulfilling my purpose. That is what motivates me every day. Even with you all working with y'all, you kind of see the type of person I am, very energetic, very extroverted, uplifting. So just however I can be the best version of myself every day, whether that tied in with a ball or not a ball, because even outside of all these accolades I had in college, I was team captain of every team I was on. I was always that being a great leader. So just realizing the impact that I had, on others, and as well being able to, score some baskets while doing it.
That definitely keeps you on the floor. That's for sure.
Yeah, but what people understand is that your character, is what really speaks a lot of volume while you're on that floor. Like, yes, we need to know how to score the ball, make the read, all these things, hustle, but how you respond to a mistake, how you respond to a turnover, a missed shot, how are you receiving coaching, all those things play a really big part in just not being a great player, but being a great person off the floor,
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And just kind of talking more about that, when in your journey going through JUCO, were there ever times where you knew 100% you were going to make that jump to the next level, or it was kind of like, I'm going to be stuck in Illinois for the rest of my basketball
Nah,
career?
I knew. So coming out of high school, I was averaging 25 and 10, and then going into JUCO, of course you kind of have that. You're the freshman, but for me, I never had that freshman type of experience because I've always been able to score the ball. So at that point, I can say money talks. So I came in, I was averaging, I think my freshman year of college, I think I averaged like 15 and 10, and then, or 15 and something like that, 15 and 9 or something like that. And then it only got better every year. It only went up. And it was just me. Like, that's why I say the work gonna show, because that's what JUCO taught me. Like, I've always been talented. I've always had a knack for scoring. I've always had a knack for rebounding. But JUCO, you just putting in work. That's all you're doing. Like, there is no, nothing is kind of like laid out for you. Like, I've been at that high level, you have schedules that are made from every second, every minute of your day, that are prepared and that you know what you're supposed to do. When in JUCO, you have so much freedom. You have so much freedom. You don't have team meetings and all these things. So coming in, the work ethic that I had, I knew I was going to go. Even my freshman year, I had looks and offers. Um, from D1s. And then they grew more and more my sophomore year, and then that's why it was. Now I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it was tough. It was tough deciding, after that second year because I had, and I had the offers I wanted, in a sense. So, or the interest and the looks as well. So it was like, go to this, go to a D1, which you've, been working for, which has been your go, or stay another year. And that's why I decided to stay another year because I was like only a couple 100 points off from being the all-time leading scorer there. I had already got my 1,000 points. Like it was more about leaving the paper trail, like the history. And that's why I decided to stay there. But no, I knew, to answer your question, no, I knew, like once we had that first practice, and it was actually like we just had a scrimmage. He let us like come in and do like an open gym when we all got to campus. I'm like, oh yeah, this is about to be easy money. Barbecue chicken is, and I had fun. Like if I'm gonna tell you, like honestly, JUCO was the best days for me for college, and it was just, even now D1 was great. Got to experience, the private jets and all that stuff. It was great, but the sense of family that JUCO, like, and true, not because of the dollar sign behind it, because of genuinely like just that is what made it just be the best. And my JUCO coach is the best coach I've had in my life. Even though my mom, she'll say she takes no offense to it, because he was just a great coach, and that's what having a great leader is what starts it all. So having someone who really, and he was a very godly man as well. So it was just a great experience. So I miss it. If y'all can see, I feel like I'm reminiscing a little bit.
Yeah, one of my best friends played at Only Central, actually, which I believe is
They
pretty
were in our
close to Grant.
conference.
And I went over there and kind of visited him and kind of just looked at the whole junior college experience and kind of talked to him. And that whole family environment that you're talking about, they didn't really have the dorms on campus or anything, but they all lived in one house together. They went out and did everything together. And besides like the funding and everything like that, what were your expectations going to JUCO, and what was the reality of what it ended up being?
So honestly, I didn't have any expectations going in, especially since I had decided so late to go that I wanted to like play in college. And not that I wanted to, but I was playing volleyball, and then I just decided to go on my visits and stuff later than um, I had probably wanted to, from rebelling. But I didn't have any expectations. I just knew that the biggest, like that was like it was a part of the journey for me. Like I knew I wasn't gonna be here like all 4 years of college. I mean, I couldn't. Essentially, it's a 2-year school, but I just knew I had to go in, handle business, and get out. Put your head down and work. Let the work show, and that's where I kind of developed that work gonna show. Actually, because I would always, I'm shooting on the shooting arm, the shooting arm when I was in college. And I'm putting up over 1,000 shots a day, every day. Now you have nothing else to do, so you can either sit here and of course do your work, do homework, but you don't have like days that are you wake up, your day looks like what you want it to look like. We didn't have practice at 5 o'clock. So I just try to, develop a routine early for myself, as in like, going to run, I would go run on a track and do these things. And it was just extra work I was putting in, but I knew I wanted to, play Division I basketball. So me sitting around just doing nothing would not help me. So I just, like I said, I went in with no expectations, just working, like just on the track, shooting, working out in the gym. And you want to know what's crazy? We didn't even have. Now, I will say I did have one expectation. Actually, I thought we were going to have 24-hour access to the gym. I
Mm.
kind of expected that, and we didn't. But you know, me and the security guards at the gym, we got in real good. I would just call them; they would come open the gym for me all the time, and that was also another number one reason why I was just always like, oh yeah, like there's nothing stopping me.
Shoot 360, we are doing a 2-year anniversary giveaway. To enter, Follow our Instagram, follow our Twitter, follow our Facebook at Shoot360 Louisville, and then follow the Unlock Your Game podcast on YouTube as well as streaming on Spotify. We will have the prize up on the board, and we look forward to giving this away to one of our lucky members and or followers of Shoot360 Louisville. Shoot 360, our open gyms are a great opportunity for us to continue to grow our basketball knowledge and our skill, as well as finding fun ways to compete with members. This upcoming month, we will have our Pancake Day open gym provided by Big Bad Breakfast. Free pancakes for those who sign up. We will continue on with that with instruction, as well as we have our fall break open gym. We look forward to seeing you all in, and please sign up and come join us for those open gyms.
That's why I started to just develop those habits, those routines that were going to prepare me, to get to where I wanted to go. So expectation, that was probably the only if I did, but I still kind of was able to work with what I got. Now the reality was great. Like for me, it was I feel like expectations bring disappointment. So I think the fact that I didn't go in with expectations or even like going in like, I've always been very humble, very, very humble. I have it tatted actually right here. I have a tattoo of it behind my ear. And I actually got it while I was in JUCO, just because I was, doing so well. And, I was the best player in the conference. I got player of the year there. Like I had so many accolades, I was doing so great because of the work I had been putting in and, it's paying off. But I just stayed humble and kept working. So for me, the reality was great. I mean, of course, everything comes with its ups and downs, and you have adversity, no matter what you're doing, whether you're playing basketball or working, whatever it may be. But I learned how to overcome that adversity in a positive, light. Because JUCO, I really feel like that's where the dogs are made. Like a dog, like you either gonna be a dog and get out, or you gonna just be getting up and down the floor.
Not everybody's built for the JUCO life.
No. But I feel like once you get out of it, like you learn so much, and it's nothing, going D1 was great. It was phenomenal, but honestly, you are not really, everything is still kind of like, done for you. So, your schedules, you're getting like everything is always, which is great. It's a luxury. But compared to JUCO, it's like in JUCO, you getting it out the mud. Like like you are creating your own routine. You are creating your own reality every day of what it will look like. And you have to be disciplined. You have to be consistent. It's so many things that you learn just through the process that, it made me be the amazing person I am today with just even, learning who you are, off the court, because that's the biggest thing too. You gotta not just, find yourself on the floor and, your style and the way you play. It's about who you are as well.
Yeah, I've been able to talk to both other Louisville players, Javon Hadley and Kason Pryor, who both had JUCO stops as well. And a lot of the stuff you've talked about, they said that if they didn't have that experience, they don't know if they'd be where they are today. And it really helped shape who they are today.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, 100,000%. Like I love JUCO. I reckon truly, which is like, and I could be biased because it was my path. But I feel like everybody should at least have a year of JUCO. Like whether it's you coming out of high school, because then you have a lot more gratitude when you get to D1. When you have all these luxuries and you see the funding, and the donors, and all this amazing stuff that you didn't even have access to, at your JUCO. But truly, like the JUCO route teaches you to, like I said, to work. Like you got to work for any and everything that you want in JUCO, and on top of still performing in the classroom, because even though you could be doing well on the floor, and it may not be as funded as a D1, that doesn't mean that they let the academics drop off. If you got bad grades, or if you failed a class, or if you anything in that sense of the academic, you're not playing. You're not playing. So now you really just sitting there looking silly because you came here only to do, what I'm saying, two things. play ball and get good grades.
Yeah.
So I just like it just teaches you so much. Like and you learn that sense of independency as well because you don't have your mom and dad there. You don't have a dobo. You know, your director of basketball operations who is literally doing anything for the team and for you. It's you. Literally you.
Shoot 360, our in-season academy is coming up starting in October. We will be having 4 teams, 5 per team, looking to create competition for those who are looking to grow their game and continue to get better. It is for middle school boys, so if you're interested, you can go online and find the information for it and register. We look forward to seeing you. Shoot 360 family, our preseason academy is on its way. We are a couple weeks in, and Coach Maxey and Instructor Gill have been doing an incredible job developing and getting our young athletes ready for this upcoming season. If you are still interested in registering, you can join us. Go online or give us a call at Shoot 360 Louisville, and we can get that set up for you.
That experience just all in all, like, to tie back into where we started with the question, the reality of it was great. Like I've even through all of the times that adversity may have hit us or may have came from us as a team and or me as a player or me being away from home and in the middle of nowhere. Like you open up your door, you gonna see a deer and a raccoon. They are gonna be like, "Good morning," and like going about their business. And you just like, "Oh, okay." I'm gonna just, so being in a completely different environment than what I'm used to being in the city, so through all of that I still loved it. I loved it, even. And it's crazy because when I was there, you're like, I can't wait
I can't wait to get out of
morning.
here.
I can't wait. Like lights out the beat, you just have this, like, it's all in your, like, and then I experienced it and I was grateful. I've enjoyed my journey. I'm still on my journey, but it's like looking back, even once I made it to the big stages and it's like, I loved it, but JUCO will always still have my heart, like
I'm gonna set that foundation for you.
yeah, like literally I wouldn't change it for the world.
Well, I hate to end the reminiscence of you getting to kind of share your story, but I do kind of want to pivot towards where we are now and kind of how we talked about that journey still going.
Mhm.
And I just want to ask you this again. You're our first player that we've had on here. We've had several coaches on here, but you're kind of our first player to coach. So, what kind of has been your perspective on the change from being a trainer? When you were once a coach or a player, sorry?
My perspective, I could say it's slowed the game down for me. I think being a player, you're just kind of like, going and going and going, work out, work out, work out, work out, and like now in training, I'm not playing 4 10-minute quarters. I'm having a 30-minute PT or out PT. So it's now the shift has been, like I said, more of, probably slowing it down, like completely. And you all know, like, we train all ages, so being able to reach every kid, however that may be fit for them, um, it made me, and it's helped me understand the game more as well. In the sense of being able to slow it down, because sometimes, like I said, our minds are just racing. You have so many different things that you're trying to accomplish and do, and it's like now it's like I can be more. I feel like I'm more present. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Just a little bit more aware of kind of what's going on. Like before, when you're training, obviously we all learn our drills from somebody. You've learned them, so you're just kind of out there doing them. But you don't really know the purpose, and maybe you do, but you're not thinking about it at the time. You're just kind of doing it because it's going to make you better, and it's going to give you a little bit more opportunities to succeed. But now as a trainer, you kind of see it from that perspective of, okay, what is this actually doing? What is the actual purpose that's intended for? Not just, if I do this, I get better, I score more points, I get more shots off, I get more rebounds, I move better on offense, etc. But there's a purpose to it, and that can kind of be a fun little transition from a player to a trainer.
Yeah, that's really, I mean, the biggest thing because, I mean, like you said, it shifts from reps to now like game like situation of understanding why are we doing this rep? Like, in what game scenario, would you be put in this moment so you can know what to do and how to do it? And then the counter from that, rather than at first you're just like, you're doing it. Like, you're more focused on how to do it, I feel like, as a player. Like, when in the training, now you're understanding the why. Like, why am I doing it? Like you said.
No, 100%. And then we'll just kind of pivot to this, kind of talking more about our trainings and, obviously what you do here at Shoot 360. What part of your trainings do you find most beneficial for your athletes when you're training them?
For me, it would be their response. So the biggest thing, like I talked to you all about, that I cared about when I was a player, was how I respond on the floor. And it starts not even, and let's not, we even made it to the game yet. How you respond to yourself in a workout. If I miss this shot while I'm shooting and I'm like, bruh, that next shot, I probably won't make it. You know what I'm saying? Just based upon how I reacted and responded to that miss or that turnover. So like, I was very big on trying to like have a positive response. A positive response, and also too, because then it could be contagious. You can help uplift somebody else. So in my trainings, like anytime a kid dribbles off their foot, airballs a shot, they can hit the side of the bottom of the backboard. Like, it could be some like crazy stuff. My thing is like, find a way for it to still be positive. How you respond to anything is how you respond to everything. So it's like them understanding that piece of it, because now we're talking about your character here. I want them to be able to overcome adversity, no matter what it may look like. Whether if you can't, you can't, you're working on the footwork of this. You're struggling with it, or, your muscle memory is just elbow out. So you're really trying to focus on getting it under. Like, however it may be that the challenge is, whatever that challenge is, look at it as it being a challenge and not an obstacle. Like, you looking at like, no, I'm challenged to get better right now. Like, so however they respond, like, that's the biggest thing for me, is to where it helps them, because that translate off the court, that translate in the classroom. That kind of just being resilient. All the time I tell all my kids, like, resiliency. I don't. If you fall, you better jump back up. Jump up. Don't just get up. Jump up. Because we get another opportunity to try again. And the best thing I tell them too, like, if they miss the airball shot, guess what? You get another rep. Look at that. Like, exactly, like, this is not the last time you will ever shoot basketball. Like, so just getting them to really focus on building those good habits with their self, because then it's gonna help them. Like I tell my time, I'm not gonna be there. Your head coach is not gonna always be the same. Mom and dad, they're not gonna always be there at every single game. So when you are like kind of looking for that validation from everyone else, you can you go through a high and low all the time. But if you can learn to uplift yourself, respond positive to yourself, do those things with yourself, master that, then you're able to still face the challenge, face the adversity, and excel through it. And then you're able to uplift others and help them as well, depending on how much you invest into yourself with it. And you just have to practice those things. So it would just be like the resilient part of your response, like who you are, how you impact people, the things you say to yourself, like all those things matter, and I feel like it's yeah.
Controlling the controllable.
Yeah, that's right. And, we've talked about that a lot on our past couple podcasts, especially this last one. We were talking about, kind of what you can do to get ready for your upcoming tryouts and your team open gyms. And a lot of it was talking about resilience and making sure you're prepared for, pretty much honestly prepared for failure, prepared for things that aren't going to go your way, prepared for things that you might not understand, and just continuing to have that mindset of I'm going to push forward and learn from whatever comes my way, and I'm going to take it into account and just keep pushing forward. And that's kind of, that's the mindset I feel like that we've built here at JU360, and with our athletes. We've had the opportunity to see these kids get so much better every month, every week, every day. And it's just fun to see the culture that we've built here. And you have been a huge part of that. And we are so grateful to have you here. And 100%, it's not that easy to find female trainers out here. And we have the two best in the city. We truthfully believe that. Coach Jay, unfortunately, we couldn't have her on today, but we'll get her on here soon. I know she's not one for the limelight. She doesn't like really kind of being up and presentable. So hopefully we can get her in a comfortable setting and get to talk to her a little bit more about her journey. But you guys do such a great job building up the athletes, and your basketball knowledge kind of pours over as well. So we really appreciate having you on today. It's been a blessing. It's been great. You've shared a lot of great knowledge, and I think a lot of things that people can take away and kind of apply to their own basketball journey and life journey, as you talked about.
Yes, thank you all for having me. It was a pleasure to be here.
Sweet. Well, Coach Daisja, we always do one thing before we close out our podcast. We leave a challenge and or kind of a question that you might want to ask yourself for the next coming weeks. And we just kind of want to see if you have one to share with our athletes or even parents. Just kind of leave them with something to kind of push them forward for the next couple of weeks until we post the next one.
I would say a question would be for everyone to kind of like every day, navigating through everyday life, which is kind of how even I navigate through mine of like, what did you do to help someone today? How did you impact someone today positively? Whether you held a door for somebody, whether you made them, laugh, made them smile, complimented them, whatever it may have been, or just simply ask them, how was their day going? Some people will go a whole day, nobody even asks them how they day was and how they're feeling. So how have you positively impacted someone today? Like aim to do that just and let it become natural, not to where it's forced or you're having to like build that mindset every single day. And just,
love it.
make the world a better place.
I think that'll be a great challenge for our members. But we really appreciate having you on today, and thank you so much. And we can't wait to get this out to everybody and kind of listen to your story and what we have going on coming up here soon.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
JU360 family, thank you so much for joining us today. Hopefully that you all can take Coach Daisja's challenge with you all. I think that's a great one to leave with. I don't know if there's one that we can have much better than just kind of setting a goal to go out and be a positive change for the world. So take that challenge with you all. We really appreciate you all joining us today, and we will see you all next week. Like, comment, subscribe. We want to hear your comments. We want to hear what you all have to think about some of the stuff that we talk about, and we would really appreciate that.